So this is another video talking to you about my plan for the stock market, especially for the next few weeks. And yeah, it's just something I wanted to talk about, and we'll just see how this video goes, because I know a lot of people talk about this in the Discord. Link in the description. It's free, by the way. If you want a free fractional share worth up to £100, link in the description, or use code BEN and you'll get a free fractional share worth up to £100. This is the big one, really, is the fact that we're having a correction, you could say, especially in small caps. Correction in the sense of the Russell 2000's down like 17%, and yeah, it's not great. It's going towards more of a crash, the Russell 2000, and obviously the Russell 2000 makes up a lot of the small caps. It tracks a lot of the small caps, so it gives you a good gauge of kind of where the small caps are going and where they're at, and if it's maybe a bottom or not. But the other thing is the S&P 500, the QQQs, they're down 6-8%, and that's not considered a correction as such. Correction's more when it goes beyond 10%, but they've been getting hit, and that's a lot of the thing. Like, is this bottom? People are very, they're just not sure on whether to be buying in or not. And this is the thing, the best strategy is dollar cost averaging, in my opinion. Obviously this is not financial advice, like investing does come with a risk, but this is something I've been doing, and a lot of people have been saying as well, the fact that obviously, why was I buying at $16, $17 so far, $15, $14, $12, $13? Like, why didn't I just buy at like 13? Well, it's easy to say that, but you don't know where it's going to be going. Like, that's why I was just gradually putting in money, and that is just the thing at the end of the day. Is like, I believe that SoFi is going to be at a certain price in the future, a lot more than what I've been buying it at. So that's why I didn't mind buying it at 17, even though 17 was high, or 15 or 14, whatever. But the question is, do I think it's going to be going down more, the market? And the one thing you've got to realize, and something I've been involved in, is corrections tend to, on average, last 3 to 4 months. That's just an average. And I've been in corrections that have lasted pretty much a whole year, and it's not fun. But then I've also been involved with times where things have gone down quite a lot and completely rebounded very instantly, like absolutely instantly. It's gone up just as quick as it kind of went down. And I believe, regardless of if this is a bottom or not, the big gains will be made within the 2-3 weeks of when the market rallies again. The big gains will, and that's why I have been putting in money every single time. And at the moment, I'm in this situation where the stocks and shares ISA that I hold within Trading 212 is coming to an end, and April will reset to the £20,000 mark again. I've mentioned this in my portfolio update, is I'm going to put a lump sum of that into whatever the best price is, SoFi, AMD or Grab at the time. I'm going to see, and I'm also thinking of doing it this week maybe, but yeah, I've got to see how things go. But this is also why I've been holding back with my cash, is not going straight in, because going back to the 3 to 4 month situation, average that corrections can last. This has only been going on for like a month, and if that's the case, that this could go on for another 2-3 months, if you go by the average, then we're nowhere near this bottom, and we could be looking at a lot cheaper prices. And you don't want to be in a position where you don't have cash. If you don't have cash in them positions, it's horrible, because you just know you can't do anything about it. And don't get me wrong, the prices are great now. Like AMD at a forward P ratio of 20, that's crazy. Like that's really good. And SoFi being in a P ratio of 27 for a stock that's growing crazy is good. But I can also see it could go lower, and that's why I've been holding back. But that's also why I've been gradually putting in money. That's why I've just not been putting in crazy large amounts of money just yet, because of that. It might not happen. It might rebound. Friday we had a rebound, and that might be the bottom, and it keeps going up. If that's the case, it is what it is, and we go back to the strategy that I've said before and I've been doing since, is be putting in the amount every single week or every single month from every time I get paid into the stock market without fail. That is what I've been doing, but obviously I've been doubling down a bit when we've been going down. So yeah, but I do think there could be more potential, more downside, and it is what it is, guys. Like, you just got to try and mentally prepare and mentally stay strong with it, because it is hard. It is a hard thing, especially when you've just got into the stock market. And like my brother, he kind of got in at near the peaks of some of these stocks. I say the peaks, AMD's not nowhere near, but like SoFi in some ways in the short term he has, and it doesn't look good and it's horrible. But I remember being there a few years ago with a lot of the stocks, especially in Palantir, and being down way more, like loads, like down 55%, and now it's up crazy. Like, it's just a short-term thing. You got to remember the reason why you first got into the stock market. Did you get in here to trade or invest? And if you got in here to trade and you wanted your money within the next year or two, then you shouldn't have got into the stock market. You should be really thinking that this money's going to be tied up for the next 5 years minimum, and you're here to invest in the company, not trade it. And that's another thing as well, is people just are, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but I just think there's a lot of people getting into the stock market with the wrong mindset of just going in and then trading almost. And it's like, I thought, did you get in here to invest or trade? And because in the sense of people like buying the S&P 500 and then selling it because they think it's going to go down even more, and then they're averaging in to buy it more. And yeah, it might work, but that's just you becoming a trader more than an investor. You're not investing for the long term. You should just constantly be buying in every week or every month. That'll be the best option to do, in my opinion. And that's something I'm personally doing, and it's the best way, in my opinion. So yeah, I just think long term and time is on your side. It's the thing that everyone keeps going on about it, but it's so true. Time is the thing that is on your side in the stock market. Like, that is your best friend in a way. Like, obviously you could get into the wrong stocks, and it doesn't matter if you've got time on your side because they've gone bankrupt or whatever, but that's why you want to look at companies that are growing or got a lot of potential. And then in that sense, time is on your side. But yeah, that is just something to think about, guys, and just really don't get caught up with like the red days of just, it ruins your day. And also, that's the other thing, is like, try and just live your life as you go on. Like, investing should be something in the background, but people like me and you probably watching this, we like to see it every single day, and you got to try and not let that emotions hit you in your day to day, because it can get you down, it can make you emotional and maybe sell your stock. And yeah, you got to remember why you got into that stock. Do you believe in that company? Do you believe where they're going? If you don't, then don't be in the stock market and don't be in that company. If you do, you shouldn't be worrying. You should just be looking at this as like, what a steal, what a deal this is. This is insane that I can get it for this price. I remember in the Discord, we were screaming for SoFi to be in the $11. It got to like $11.90 or something. Sadly, I missed that because I was asleep. But yeah, like, it's just mad that SoFi got to that, and people were asking for that, but then didn't buy it at that price. A lot of people did, but in the Discord, but some people wouldn't have done, and would be wanting things for it to go even lower, or waiting for it to go lower. And that's the other thing as well, that people just think about, and just try and time things. But I'm averaging in slowly, and then when obviously the big serious discounts happen, like a crash, then I will personally be deploying in like a lot of money but that's the other thing. Just make sure you've always got cash on the side, because it is the worst. The only time where you don't really want cash is when you're in like a big correction or a crash, and then you're getting rid of it, and then obviously hopefully eventually the stock market will rebound, and then that's when you start building the cash position again, and maybe selling some stocks that are overvalued or whatever. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, and